This is JelloApocalypse. I've had so much love for this guy's work. I used to watch a lot of his stuff back in the day, and I have watched Epithet Erased multiple times. I really loved Epithet's Erased, his humor and its style and its jokes and everything. And I really loved a lot of his old stuff. But it turns out that Mr. JelloApocalypse is a very bitter man who has a lot of envy in his heart and will try to drag people and things down in order to make himself feel better. We all got tricked into thinking that all his humor was tongue-in-cheek. Until I must tell you all about this. 10 months ago, it was found out that he was giving away secrets, and also to a dub, and he was trying to get the dub changed. Like, he wasn't even working with the dub. Like, he wasn't even hired. He just knew the person that was hired to help with the dub, and he was convincing her to basically change a lot of the writing, and even removed the cameo of the person who wrote the anime and the manga. No joke. He was going to remove that out of the equation, and they almost got away with it until like somebody blew a whistleblower that was on his Patreon, found out, like told the press and told the people, because he was on Patreon talking about how he was basically betraying this anime because he thought he knew better. He was smarter than everyone else on the crew, and he said that the anime was just bad when it wasn't localized, and watching anime and subs was like subpar and stuff like that. He's a fucking bastard. And I didn't know. I heard something about it, but I kind of ignored it because I didn't want to get a part of the drama until this came out a few weeks ago. This absolutely is one of the worst, if not worst, pieces of trash he has made. And all you can tell is that he came out of this with like the most bitter emotions. Hello, King Lion. Kion. Still, I still love his corn video, and the video was a solid place in my core memory. I still love a lot of his funny stuff, but it kind of, knowing that it came from a place of bitterness kind of really changes like my views on what he thinks. I thought he stopped doing videos too, but he made this 3 weeks ago, and if you couldn't tell, there's a problem. Mass negative reviews from the fans of One Piece and fans of animation. The corn song. Okay, it's okay, Cypher. I understand. The fact that you can repeatedly avoid Flowey's text and he's like, you know exactly what's going on, don't you, is amazing. I love that. I remember being upset about Pro Jared. I know, I've heard. Well, which one was Pro Jared again? I remember that name. I know that name. I just can't put a face to the name. I know specifically that the person you're talking about is somebody who fell from grace quite a bit. Me, I'm an avid fan of One Piece, by the way. He isn't the completionist. Blue short shirt guy looks like one of those. Right. Was that the guy that was the... Hold on. I think I know who you're talking about. Yeah, that guy. The dude who was a cheater and not, I believe, right? He was a cheater and an egomaniac. And didn't it come out that he was also a pedophile? Night, Leon. I totally understand. It's getting past that midnight mark there. That he was a victim. He came back and fucked them. I don't know, man. I had heard some not so nice things. I don't know. I remember hearing about it. I didn't ditch him, but I just hated that the YouTuber I used to watch get me through anxiety was in hot water. Ah, hugs. I don't know if I'm on screen. No, I'm not. I don't think we're going to see that hug. Oh, there it is. Listen, everyone is somehow a piece of shit in someone's eyes. Yeah, that's true. That's true. There's always going to be somebody like that, but there's always actual people who are like that, and that's, yeah. Yeah, I don't usually fall for the witch hunting of the internet either. I kind of ignore that sort of thing. I just heard what happened, and I was just like, okay. Broken thoughts are all my pieces. So, if you're a fan of One Piece, I would ask you to be prepared for some of the worst crap you'll ever see making fun of One Piece. I watched this and I was blown away by just how horrible that Jello comes off. He literally is just bitter. He is so bitter. I feel like the repercussions of his actions for the movie or the anime that he was doing that thing to and getting caught, and his entire career going down the drain, and then on top of it, his show doesn't do that well because of that. Because his show Epithet Erased didn't do well and it didn't get to where he wanted it to get to. He was absolutely like dumbfounded, and now he's attacking One Piece because I don't think he likes One Piece. In fact, I think he hates it. And now that I'm looking at, like, after I watched this, I started realizing that he's actually an arrogant piece of garbage that is just like absolutely hateful towards everybody he does with this. So this is basically stuff. Not everyone has good taste. Exactly. But Jello is arrogant. He's not a person who doesn't have good taste. He's arrogant. And he thinks he can do better than like Oda. He thinks he can do better than like Araki. He doesn't like JoJo. He doesn't like One Piece, and he thinks he can do better. And that because his show flopped, he's pissed. And now that he's been outed for what he did and was trying to do, he's even more pissed. And you can see it in this video. You can see the bitterness. Sour Grapes is a bitch. And yeah, it is.
OPs is the story.
Hold on, let me turn that down a little bit. Just a little bit. There.
Of Loosey Goosey. He plays things fast and loose, but he got too loose, and now he's all wiggly. He's made of rubber. How did that happen? Yo.
I like that's cute to the rap, the infamous rap.
Has been lying to you. Our true history is written on magic Legos. Gum fruit isn't real. There are weasels on the moon. Cast away your shackles, my brothers, and rise! Rise!
Now that's funny. I will give Jello his dues. He starts out strong. That's funny. Like, all of that is very funny. Like, Luffy being a tinfoil hat conspiracy theorist and being right about all those things is absolutely hysterical. I like that, but it's not going to stay that way.
It's the great age of pirates. A pirate is defined as anyone who sails a boat.
Which, again, is very true in the world of One Piece, and it is funny.
Loosey Goosey's gonna be king of them all. To do that, he needs to conquer the Grand Line, an inaccessible ocean that you could easily leave and come back to. I mean,
Wrong. That is not correct. Okay, so to anybody who doesn't understand One Piece, the world is separated into like 5 different sections. So, let's see. So you have the East Blue, the West Blue, the North Blue, and the South Blue, and then you have the Grand Line. Those are the 5 oceans in the world. When you're on the Grand Line, you cannot leave the Grand Line so easily unless you have a very specific type of technology that allows you to go through what's called the Calm Belt. The Calm Belt surrounds both sides of the Grand Line. And what lies within the Calm Belt would normally destroy pretty much any ship. There are gigantic mammoth level leviathans in that ocean. Creatures that are almost as big as islands. And they do not care for anything that comes into the Calm Belt, and they will attack anything that goes into it. Yeah, okay, King. There's also the Red Line, but that only has 1 point of interest. Yeah, and it's not considered an ocean, really. There's 5 oceans, but the Grand Line, or the Red Line, is more of a body of land. But the rest of the world is basically islands. But that's the point I was trying to get at, is that he's already wrong. Man is coming out here coming out like this. The weird thing is he's coming out with jokes about like about the weasels on the moon. You don't know about the weasels on the moon unless you actually read the cover art. Not even fans of the anime know about that unless they look on the wiki and stuff to learn about that. So, what do you mean you know about the weasels on the moon? And also, the float fruit guy is in there. So you got to know a little bit about the movies, at least, when it comes to that.
It's the great age of pirates. To do that, he needs to conquer the Grand Line. And
people do sleep on the cover stories. They really do. That's what I mean. Not a lot of people sleep on those. And that's what I mean. He knows the cover stories. So you're telling me he knows the cover stories, but he doesn't know about the Calm Belt? He doesn't know about the Grand Line? Something just doesn't feel right. It sounds like he's just doing a narrative in order to throw hate onto One Piece. Now, this is just a minor thing. We're getting it. We're not even in the meat and the potatoes. We are still at the appetizer right now.
Inaccessible ocean that you could easily leave and come back to. I mean, if you need to. If you like forgot your keys or something, it's not a big deal. You can just come right back in there.
No, you can't.
People on the Grand Line have the power of devil fruits, fueled by the dreams of what humanity could be. You know those dreams we all got. I want to wear someone like a jacket. I want to squeeze a person until milk comes out. I want to gain weight.
I also want to gain weight.
See, now this is funny. Like I said, like if you haven't watched a lot of the newer or read the manga at all in the newer stuff, you won't know that
power of devil
that our man who is basically Albert Einstein over here had theorized that the abilities that the devil fruits are from is the dreams of some people who want to have powers. So if you want to have the power of being able to swim through ground, that is your ultimate dream. That made a fruit a thing. If you want the power of, let's go with the one like a wheel for some reason, you can gain all the powers of becoming a wheel. You want to have the powers of rubber. There's a fruit for that. Happy New Year, Jake Auntie. But yeah, and that's why I find this bit funny, because if you know the story, this guy fucking is the jacket fruit user, and the only good that comes from being the jacket user is you can take over somebody's body if they're willing to let you take it over. It's like the most useless fucking ability ever. So him like rimming on the idea of these terrifying fruits of like, who had this dream, are hilarious. Nice past games. I want the powers of God and anime on my side.
I want to squeeze a person until milk comes out.
I want to gain weight.
I also want to gain weight, but in a more useless way.
I hope nobody notices we have the exact same powers.
And again, that's funny. That is hysterical because they kind of all do have the exact same powers and slight variations.
There are dozens of devil fruits, each with different powers that make them all distinct. Asterisk.
Parameciums are silly boys that turn you into a sinky, stinky weirdo.
Loogie Froogies give you control.
All
over
true,
reality.
by the way.
You can squiggle your body to avoid attacks and also generate something which parameciums can't do. Except for the ones that can. Those are called special parameciums, which can also be spelled like this.
See, now that's funny. Again, that is hilarious. The idea that basically Oda made a mistake is but it's him playing on Oda's like oopsie doopsies because Oda's not perfect. But I find that, but it's still funny. This is funny. Poking fun at these moments are funny. Hi, Boomerang. Welcome in. Happy New Year.
And then there's furries. But they're ugly. With such
No, they're not. I must reiterate. Sure, there are furries, but let me tell you something. They are not ugly. There are some very good-looking characters, not from my standpoint, but there are some really, really good-looking characters that a lot of people have a lot of love for that are Zoan users. And he didn't mention the fact that Zoan users who are awakened basically can't be stopped. They can be knocked out for like 2 seconds and they can get back up because their ability allows them to kind of get back up when they awaken their fruit.
With such varied powers, Old Peas is pretty wacky. Which is to say most fights are just two people whacking each other until one of them decides to fall down.
I mean, must I reiterate, this is an anime, and that kind of like is everything when it comes to anime. It's basically, you know, this is a little bit of the bitterness of Jello coming out right here, if you couldn't tell. Like, he doesn't seem to like fist fighty anime, okay? And he's basically making fun of that. I mean, is that not what fighting is usually about? Like, when it comes to even reality, when humans are boxing or kickboxing or MMAing, isn't that exactly what you're trying to do? You're just one guy or girl punching another guy or girl until one goes down, one or the other goes down. Is that not what a fight is? I mean, not every fight's gonna be basically like a mind game like Death Note. Especially when it's a shonen anime like One Piece, where it's the fighting is like a good chunk of the series. Like, people like that sort of thing. I like that sort of thing. I like watching Rubber Man punch a dragon in the face, or I like watching a cook kicking a wolf man in the face so hard that he explodes into fire. How cool is that? It's amazingly cool. Oh my god, my fighting anime has fighting in it. Whatever shall I do? What a garbage anime. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's only so much, like, you can be clever with the ideas of the fights and stuff like that, and they still be punchy animes, but you're not going to always have that ability to be clever all the time. Plus, it's like I said, it's not like Death Note, where you have to be clever constantly all the time. Although my favorite anime is Girls and Pantsers. I've never watched that.
I swear some of these are good. Him and Usopp are a Robin fight. What do you mean?
Wait, what?
I swear some of these are good. Him and Usopp are a Robin fight. What do you mean Robin doesn't get any fights? She's like the strongest character.
Listen, okay. I believe he just said like Usopp or Robin. Listen, Usopp has had plenty of fights through the series. Like, he doesn't, in his latest arc, he has not had very many one-on-one fights. In fact, normally he doesn't have one-on-one fights. He has backup fights where he fights with another person, 2 other people, the crew, but he still fights. And he's got enough fights that he usually gets 1 or 2 per arc. He fucking even fought Luffy at one point in time during the Water 7 arc, which that's crazy, and not many people would have something like that. I've seen clips from it, a lot of clips, but I've never sat down to watch it. But and Robin, she doesn't get many fights for a couple reasons, all right? There's a few reasons why Robin doesn't get into a fight. Because Robin is a either major win or a major loss. Either Robin is too her ability is too powerful, and she can just snap the backs and necks of all the other characters that are just like melee fighters, unless they're so strong they can resist her like arms and stuff. Or she's outclassed because they're like a Logia type, or they have like future sight or something like that. They're just completely outclassing her. So either A, she's going to win the fight easily, or B, she's going to lose the fight terribly. So Robin does not fight often in the series. Not only that, Robin doesn't like to fight. She will fight when she has to save her crew or save people she cares about, but she is not a big fighter. Backbending powers. She literally can grow her limbs across other people's bodies because she has the sprout fruit, I think it was called, and she can sprout her body parts all across anywhere. Other people's bodies, walls, stuff like that. And she can basically grab a hold of like the joints and stuff in your body. Bloom fruit. Thank you. And she can like bend your arms and your back into ways that, you can't normally fight. Unless you're like somebody like Katakuri or Big Mom or like a giant. Because the limbs and things that she blooms are dependent on her own physical form. So if she decided to like pump iron and become like Zoro levels of strength, where she could punch a wall into a powder, all those limbs would have that same capability. But she doesn't because, that's not her thing. She doesn't want to be a part of physical fighting all the time. That's not what drives her. So it's like, that leads to the thing of like, there's only going to be only so many ways you can put her into a fight without her being one or the other completely destroyed or be completely destroying the enemy. She just had a fight for the first time, a nice, not one-on-one, but almost a one-on-one fight with Black Maria, a giant spider woman who almost kicked her ass, but she won. And it took a lot out of her to do so. I don't think she can do that because it has to be on a physical spot she can, I think, see or something like that, or the flowers can actually bloom. Otherwise, they'd be an Ant-Man sort of situation. Hey, Crow, welcome back. We're talking about JelloApocalypse and his views on One Piece, which are terrible. I'm going to open this video before I forget. But yeah, I'm like destroying JelloApocalypse right now. I'm ripping him apart currently. Also, why are we drawing him kind of black? You notice that? It becomes more noticeable in the rest of the series, in the rest of this video. But Usopp is black. He's not black. Not throughout the entire series. Even the anime made him, white. Asian, whichever one they prefer, but definitely not black. And Oda had, he's Macchiato. Wait. What was his name? Not Rosanate. Coladeriano. Jack's gonna be the only one that's gonna get that one. Who's Coladeriano? I love that. I love that arc. Oh, so good. I don't know, man. People see someone with dark skin in anime and immediately assume African, forgetting Southeast Asia exists. I'm just saying he's not white, and Oda has a lot of power over the anime, and pretty sure he's not supposed to be that color of skin. What, you didn't like the fortress arc, the filler arc? But it actually wasn't. It was filler, but it was so good it didn't feel like it was filler. Comparing them to Diddy, I hope not. Or do you mean what you were saying earlier? I'm just saying that I just said he was black. I didn't say African American, I said black. I didn't make that comparison. Maybe that would be Jello doing that. Oh god, that's a quote I forgot I just said. Oh boy. I forgot about that. Brother, Oda is not sexist. Are you fucking kidding me? Literally one of the strongest women in the whole series was one of the Yonko. Fucking Big Mom. She was one of the strongest women in the world. Big Mom is an insanely amazing fighter. And not a very good strategist, but she is an amazing fighter, an amazing tank of a human being, and she's a woman. There's a lot of women in power in the Marines that have the second in command, what was it, rear admirals, and second what's that other one after rear admiral? It's the before admiral. They are like the second one there. There's a lot of them in power. Nami's in there. Nami is an amazingly powerful woman using the ability of weather. Yeah, there's very few. Boa Hancock, one of the strongest women in the series, has conquerors hockey, can turn men into stone. Literally, single-handedly defended Water Lily. Like, Jesus Christ, shut the fuck up, Jello. This is right here Jello trying to start shit. This is Jello trying to get people up in arms with pitchforks and torches. He is trying to use Twitter and Tumblr and stuff like that to go against Oda. He is trying to incite shit. And this is blatantly obvious that he is trying his best to make people angry. It makes me angry, all right, but not at the person that, he wants me to be angry at. Painted fingernails can still grip the joystick of an F-16. Its cockpit is considered a safe space. Like, old bitch went and helped fuck the utmost palace of justice for the Marines as a final fuck you to the world government for basically kidnapping Tom. Yeah. Didn't there's so many strong women in this series. Sure, women are considered weaker because it's more realistic in the way of humans being human beings in the real world, in this world, than this one. It's that's why some of the women are considered weaker, but there's still a lot of strong women. There's what's her name? One with the juice fruit. Big Mom's daughter, who was like the second, one of the sweet commanders, one of her strongest people, strongest children. Like, seriously. Then there's what was her name? Charlotte. What was it? What was her name? No. She used to use the slow waltz. It was it Amanda? Charlotte Amanda, I think her name was. Yeah, Charlotte Amanda, who was considered one of the strongest swordswomen in the Big Mom family, who used to use slow sword cutting techniques in order to make her opponents suffer the most during an actual cutting attack. Like, bro, what the fuck are you talking about? What are you on? Also, I love Amanda's design, by the way. I really think she was an underutilized character. She's just got this like Slender-esque style to her that just looks so intimidating and so good. This is Charlotte Amanda. She's from the long neck tribe. That's why she's so lanky and long and slender, mannish. But she looks like I love the hat. The hat looks amazing. I love the basically she's wearing a single like dress there. I like how it's just like one full piece dress. She kind of looks like a little bit like a bowling pin in a way. The long hair that looks like it's water. It's really like her design. And look, see, she even has like a fish like sword where it looks like there's scales for the hilt and the sword is like a fish itself. Very interesting character design. Just to say, even women who aren't physically strong are never helpless. Yeah, look what happened to Nami's mother. She wasn't strong enough to fight Arlong, and yet she was able to save her children in another way. They are not weak. Oda is not sexist, and in fact, Oda is one of the best manga artists for women. Like, he's fucking been for women for years. And like it's recognized in his art. Look how many times in like a lot of manga, like especially the shonen, the women become pretty much useless. Look at Naruto. Look at Bleach. Look at Bleach has some strong women, but not a lot. Look at freaking Dragon Ball Z. Nothing against the writers, but there just really isn't that many strong women in there comparatively to One Piece. So to say that is the stupidest thing you could have ever said, bar none, until he talks later and he gets into the real meat and potatoes of this. Feel bad for the Tontada that had to go up Big Mom's. Oh no. God in heaven, I don't want to repeat what you just said. Granted, Oda is on record saying that he doesn't give characters moms who are alive because moms are the antithesis of adventure, which is kind of true if you think about it, but that's really the only hook for sexism. But he's right. A mother around will keep their kids safe from going on adventure. I know that to be true. Mothers are there to basically keep you from doing something stupid and getting yourself hurt and in trouble. A good mother will. So he's right in that sense. And that's not sexism. That's basically saying, yeah, mothers are good. Mothers keep you safe. That's basically what he's saying. Mommy issues are required to be a pirate. It's in the handbook.
Oh, come aboard and bring a long chapter count for the biggest serialized adventure manga in history, only to find that the adventure stories aren't as good as the thriller and espionage ones, and the author should probably just be writing that.
No, the adventures are great. I remember watching Skypiea and actually loving a lot of Skypiea. I love a lot of the adventure stuff. It's great. He sure, the espionage stuff is great too in its own way. It just means this is just basically, again, Jello being insincere and negative.
Revel in excitement and watch as Lucy has to punch the bad man in order to stop the natural disaster from crashing down and destroying an island that's shaped like a circle. This is every single arc.
No, it's not. For one, let me see. Skypiea was, if I remember rightly, that is not Skypiea's full like island and stuff. That's not the full island. There's more to Skypiea than just the Verth, the chunk of Verth that was up there. And so you got a circle, but that's not a circle. Punk Hazard is a little bit circly, but I think that was due to the fact that the two what are they called again? Admirals were fighting on it, and fucking the by the way, he labeled the Seaman or the Fishman Island garbage, but the Fishman Island is not a circle. It has a bubble around it to keep people from dying, that humans that go there. But as a fucking island itself, it does not look like a circle. And when you are in a position, most of the time with these islands, when you're in a position where you can't see the rest of the island, they do look like circles from the sides a lot of the times. But that's not a big deal. But also, he's mentioned that this is a thing that happens every arc, which it's not. There are arcs that, like the Water 7, where it wasn't about some big disaster. It was for saving their crew and getting a new ship. There was also the what else was there? When it comes to natural disasters, I would also say he was preventing that they also had I want to say the Bartier. I know the Bartier it was kind of a disaster because of what's his name? Krieg. But that was just a ship. They were just going to steal a ship, man. That wasn't like an island disaster. That was just pirates being pirates trying to steal stuff. Let's see, what else was there? Long Land, Long Ring, Long Land was not a disaster arc. The entirety of the Robin arc, saving Robin arc, was not one. Amazon Lily's arc was not one. The goddamn Marine Ford Island was not a prevention of an entire like disaster of an island. It was a prevention of saving Ace from death. There was, let's see, what else? There's a lot of, Thriller Bark was not about a disaster befalling the island. So here's Jello twisting the narrative again, twisting the narrative to fit his own ego, which is fitting because the whole arc is about racism. So of course, the more appealing mermaids live in a bubble where they experience the lesser forms of racism compared to the fishman who doesn't get it. It's all metaphors. Exactly. He gets absolutely nothing about the series at all.
Sometimes Oda gets worried that the 12-year-old boys who read his boob comic don't think it's cool enough, so he decides to draw everything on fire for a few panels and then forgets about it.
And can I ask you a question, Jello? How many people do you think are 12 years old reading this manga and have been for the last, what, 25 years? This manga's been out? So you think that all the 12-year-olds are catching up reading these mangas day after day? They're buying all the mangas, reading them up online, and getting all caught up. Is that what you think? You don't think that somebody who was a fan of this series has been reading this series for the last over 20 years? No? No, not at all. Besides that fact, how many times has an island been on fire and then it was forgotten? Yeah, Jello is being 100% manipulative here. How many times have we seen an island or something go on fire? How many times? Can you, Jack, refresh my memory, since you know just as much about One Piece as me. Refresh my memory. How many times has there been an island that was basically completely on fire? 5 times? No. I know more, but okay, shush. They're arrogant. But I don't like, there's some, like, Punk Hazard's on fire, but there's a reason for that. It's not like everything's on fire for, like, everything exploding. Finish the question. How many times was there things on fire that, like, the island was burning that Oda forgot? How many times? I cannot remember a single time where everything was on fire and it basically, he had to put it out. Somebody had to put it out and he forgot. Yeah, exactly, Jack. That's exactly what I thought. Not once, not a single time do I ever remember anything being on fire in the literal or metaphorical sense.
He's on fire! He must be from the jungle!
Now explain to me this. What is that? What is that joke? I don't get that joke. Is that from the 4Kids dub? Which I haven't seen in so long that if it was from that, I was like, I've like stricken it from my memory because that was horrible. But I think that might be from the 4Kids dub, because I cannot think of any other reason why this joke doesn't fly. I think I vaguely remember that being said in the 4Kids dub, which means like he's just picking and choosing stuff from the American, like the American translation. And like, how many people are going to know that joke? Like, seriously, how many people are going to know the 4Kids dub joke unless they're really delving deep into the shit? Because nobody, unless you're like me, who watches that shit and laughs to laugh at it, nobody's going to watch that. Because it's dead. It's gone. It's been dead for years. Nobody wanted that to come back. So you making that joke is just going to go over 80% of the fans' heads. And even somebody who's watched the 4Kids dub like me, I don't remember. Because that makes... like I said, I don't remember too much from that other than a handful of things like turning the guns into water pistols or turning the gun into a hammer to pretend that it's not going to kill, like, Kobe. I don't know, like, there's a lot of stuff I don't remember other than, like, the rap and stuff. The rap. Oh, yeah, the suction cup. Yeah, the darts being turned into suction cups. Yeah, that was stupid. Because you can't have blood in a kids show. Again, 4Kids should have never taken this show on. It was not meant for kids. It was meant for teenagers and older. It was not meant for kids at all. So they put in suction cups. They edited suction cups in. It's crazy. Hold on. Let's see if I can find... Oh yeah, they even changed the sword of Hawkeye Mihawk because it looked like a cross. So they edited the sword down. Yeah, there. Hey, here. Oh yeah, they couldn't let they wouldn't let Sanji smoke. Sanji wasn't allowed to smoke, so they turned that into a candy. Viva Cristo, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the facility with me. Here, see, like, he wasn't allowed to smoke. He was sucking a piece of candy. They changed the gun into a what appears to be some weird ass hammer. They turned the darts, these darts, poison darts. No, they weren't even poison. They were they? Were the darts poison? But I know in the 4Kids they called them poison suction cups, which makes absolutely no sense. Yeah, I think they censored this completely. Yeah, they skipped an entire arc. It was so bad. They skipped the Laboon arc. When they meet Crocus and Laboon, right after Reverse Mountain, they completely skipped that. Gone. And then it turns out Laboon and Crocus are two insanely important characters later on in the series. Like, super duper important. I'm Chilean, and I wanted to ask you, what episode of One Piece are you in? Oh, let's see. I haven't read the manga in a few weeks. I think I just got done. I just got into Elbaf. I got like into the first episode of first chapter of Elbaf. I didn't get anywhere past the first chapter. I know that he's gotten like at least 3 or 4 more chapters since then. But yeah, it's the Pearl lighting himself on fire with being in the jungle thing doesn't make any sense.
What?
The stakes still aren't high enough! Quick, hit him with a poison that doesn't work!
I see the crew were cruising the sea.
Yep, there's the darts. Again, this tells me that he watched a lot of the 4Kids dub and the English dub. Because like I said earlier in the video, I'm pretty sure that he does not like subs. He only likes dubbed stuff. Sorry, I don't remember that I don't know English. Oof. Yeah, I don't know any other languages. Ah, you're from Chile. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. I understand now. I remember. I used to have a friend from Chile.
Alola Molazo is the right-hand man who holds his swords like an idiot and can teleport in front of any woman, so long as it's for sexist reasons. Nami.
You know, that's not the first time I've heard Zoro being called a sexist. I've heard of other people making fun of him for it in other places. It just sounds like he's rehashing that, but in all honesty, it's like he's not a sexist, and nor has he ever been. Puro en palabra. I wish I mean, I don't know what that means. I hope I didn't say something offensive. She do be racist. Put in word. Ah, put in word. I see. He do be racist though. Yeah. It was just that one time he beat up a black woman. He teach you a little Spanish, okay? I know a handful of words, and that's about it.
He is a cat burglar who gets more pussy than the rest of the crew combined.
Couple things. Since when did Nami actually date a woman? Or kiss a woman? Or get with a woman? Since when? And if it's because she's like with women, other women all the time, Die is day. Hold on. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it's day. Yep. Die is day. Yeah, again, I'm questioning why he keeps making characters black. He made Usopp black. He's made Vivi black. I'm pretty sure Robin was slightly darker in color, like caramel in color. So why does he keep doing that? I feel like he's doing it on purpose to make people angry. I don't know why. It just makes no sense. It almost feels like it's the reverse of whitewashing. Daya. So yeah, this makes no this makes no like sense, because maybe if Nami was like secretly pining for a woman, or flirted with a girl more often or anything like that, but she doesn't, though she seems to be more connected to girls and on a whole, like a normal, like she connects with women way more than she connects with guys, which is understandable because men have been the bane of her existence her entire life. But I'm saying that it just doesn't make any sense. It's just kind of like, it's a meh joke. That was a coloring issue in the anime side, but it can easily be justified with Robin being tanned from spending so much time in Alabaster. Very true.
My man! In light.
And there it is. There he is. Black Usopp. I think he's coloring him black because of his hair. I think. And if he's doing that, that's just racist, bro. You're talking about sexism and racism out here, and here you are being actually racist. Also, I've noticed that he was starting to talk about Sanji there a little bit.
In light of recent allegations, our crew has decided to cut ties with Mr. Vinsmoke. We are currently in talks to replace him with the hot, suave, good version of Sanji from the Netflix adaptation.
Sanji is fine. Shut up. I know Sanji is a bit of a perv, but he's not a bad person. He loves women. He doesn't see women as a sexual object. He just sees them as beautiful and stunning, and even what's her name? The person who could see into people's minds. What was her name? Princess I can't remember her name from the Rosa, not the what was it? Rose something? What was it? It meant Spanish, basic. Viola. Thank you. Viola looked into his mind and saw nothing but pink. She expected him to be like a horn dog and see horrible dark things, controlling, gross guy. She was expecting a dog, and instead all she saw was the love that he had for women. And that was it. Sanji is not that kind of person. And I kind of get the joke, and I understand, replacing him because he's a bad person is something like what a business would do. But after all the horrible things that Jello's been going on about, this joke just does not fly with me. Yeah, exactly. He just has romance in his heart because backstory time. Sanji loved his mother and hated his brothers and his father. He loved his sister, and he loved and respected both of them. And because of that, he grew up loving and respecting women. And then not only that, he also had it taught into his head by Chef Zeph that he should never strike a woman, and that women are beautiful creatures and they should never be objectified. So Brother. Brother. Again, makes no sense.
Okay, now Robin is the most interesting character in One Piece.
She's a woman!
She is a woman. Yes, indeed. Also, you just declared Robin to be the most interesting character, and you then also called her her inability to go fight and win fights or do anything like that or anything cool to be sexism. You just fucking stepped in it. You have completely and utterly hypocrited yourself. You just completely and utterly destroyed yourself. And I didn't even have to lift a finger. I just pointed out, you said that she doesn't get fights and she's boring, basically, and that must be sexism. And yet somehow she's the most interesting character in the series. How is that sexism? How is that sexism? Explain to me. Tell me. Explain to me, Jello. How can she be the most interesting character, but also be sexist towards women if she's also boring and doesn't get any good fights? Fucking idiot. Unless he means when he gets back from Kambaka Kingdom. Yeah, he gets a little weird after coming back from Kamabaka Kingdom. But bruh, Robin's fights are the smoothest shit. She dispatches the dispatching of her enemies in a very I'm always in control way. I know, right? I always love the way that Robin handles the underlings, because they're just like cracked, bam, destroyed. Hold on, I'm gonna translate that. It's the name of a small village in Mexico State. That's apparently is the name Portugal Magadora is the name of a small town in Mexico. That's apparently a small town in Mexico, he just declared. I don't know what that means. Table or misa in Spanish.
Sorry, I guess that's all the time we have. Marketable plushie, fish, bones.
So okay. Let me give you the down low on this here. Marketable plushie. All right. I want you to know, Jello, who has absolutely zero information on the series or Oda, that when Oda wrote this character, Chopper, he did not draw him to be cute at first. The original iteration of Chopper was a little bit funny. It was kind of cute, but a little funny. Old Chopper was supposed to be semi-cute, but not super cute. Let me go find old Chopper. Like really old Chopper. Here's old Chopper. This is old Chopper. This is what he used to look like. Right here. This is what old Chopper used to look like. This is old Chopper. The original Chopper was kind of little bally, kind of little pudgy, kind of has this round thing going on. Semi-cute, but not like plushy levels of cute. The only reason Oda drew Chopper differently and turned him into this in the later series and made him more cute with big eyes and babied him up, less round and more distinctively like a child, is because the character's voice actress made the character sound cute. He did not expect that when he first wrote Tony Chopper. So if he found out that that voice actress was going to make him sound so like feminine and small and adorable, he changed the design over time in order to make Tony look more cute, to more match the voice. I don't like the new design personally. I like the old design more. I like this design a bit more because I felt like that gives him more of a character. But like I said, Jello is an uneducated stooge. So I would not put it past him to know that knowledge. Because he's a stooge and he's acting out of anger and hatred. Hold on, I'll look at that really quick. An a what? An ophthalmologist? What? You're calling me an ophthalmologist, which is a doctor? Huh, okay. Also, MalO, did you know Chopper's new hat goes over Pirlock's hat? He didn't replace it. He's wearing two hats, which means he plays Team Fortress 2. I didn't know that. That's hilarious. I couldn't read that as optometrist because P and H always come off as F sounding to me. Apparently, I'm an eye doctor. Fish? I mean, yeah, okay. Yeah, Jinbai is a fish. Bones. The rest. You know who's the rest? There is no rest. You know who the rest are? Frankie. Frankie is the rest. That's it. They're kind of racist to call Jinbai a fish. He's a fish man. Kind of correct. But where's Frankie? I don't see no Frankie on here. You covered everyone but Frankie. But you know what? MalO, we had an arc about this. Listen. We're not in the world. It's fine. It's fine. It's not the worst thing in the world. It's not like I should raise up arms about it. Arc about what? Fishman Island arc. I'm just saying. Classic bone people. Bones. How many members are in the Straw Hat crew? You got Luffy, you got Usopp, you got Sanji, you got Zoro, you got Nami, you got Robin, you got Tony Chopper, you got Jinbai, Brook, and the 10th member would be Frankie, right? Because there's only 10 people in the crew. That's it. 10 people. So you saying the rest means absolutely nothing other than you're completely skipping over one person. The rest would be the ship. And if he's considering Frankie just the ship, then he definitely is the biggest a-hole. But we'll discuss this a little later. There's something important to cover.
Main the Mission Mask with the main cast where most of them are so mid that their boat has more personality than they do.
He did not just declare that the characters of One Piece, all the characters like that, yeah. He just declared that everybody has a crappy personality. Everybody on the crew. Bro deserves to be busted for that one. Absolutely. Atrocious. It's atrocious. Coming out here and telling me that none of these characters have good personality. Usopp doesn't have a good personality. Nami doesn't have a good personality. Brook doesn't have a great personality. You're telling me none of them have a great personality. Jinbai, fucking amazing character. Jinbai is an amazing character. I love Jinbai. I love Brook. I love Robin. I love Nami. I love Luffy. I love all of them. I think their characters and the way that their pasts shape them and how they come together because they all have horrible, evil pasts and they have been mistreated throughout their lives, and they came together as a family, basically, because Luffy and the rest of them pulled them in and said, you're one of us now. I fucking love that. I love that. That is so amazing. The personalities these characters have are amazing. Him saying that they don't have personality is a grievous sin. 10 traits about Usopp. He's a liar, and here's number 2. All his lies become true. He's a sniper. He's a singer. He loves his crew. He loved his ship. He loved his ship so much that he was willing to fight Luffy because Luffy had said that he had to get a new ship. He loves his old village. He loves his mother. He loves his father. He looks up to his father, even though his father abandoned him. He thinks that he wants to become an extraordinary warrior because he saw the giants fighting among each other and thought, man, I want to be a brave warrior of the ocean, just like those giants. I want to become just like them. And he looks up to the 2 giant pirates. And now he's going to Elbaf, the place he's been looking forward to since the very beginning of the series. So tell me again that he doesn't have a fucking personality. Tell me. And that's just one of the members of the crew. Every single member of this crew has a goddamn backstory and a personality and has so much going for them. It's unreal. Even the ones that just joined, like Jinbai, Brook, they have an insane backstory and freaking character development. I love them. I love them all. And then you can actually see their character development and their bouncing off of each other, especially in like the Wano arc and stuff like that and during fights. It's great.
Whoa! You didn't tell me.
It's kind of a good... See, I understand where the joke is coming from here because the ship does have a personality. The whole thing, I get the joke because the Going Merry actually had a spirit that also had a character because they were so happy and so wonderful to each other and having so much fun that the ship actually gained a soul. The Klobbertman. Yeah, exactly. So tell me again, how would a ship be able to make a Klobbertman if they didn't have personality and fun on that ship? Tell me, explain that one to me, Jello. But you can't. You never really watched the series. And I'll show you some more reasons why I know that.
Mid that their boat has more personality than they do.
Whoa! You didn't tell me our boat was from the jungle.
There's that joke again.
Trade in your straw hat for a tin foil one.
And also, yeah, it did get lit on fire during this arc by wasn't the one night? Yeah, it was the one Sky Knight with the javelin tried to light it on fire, and Tony Chubber had to put it out.
Delve deep into the mysteries of the world. Fight back against an all-powerful evil government and the lapdogs who work as their enforcers.
Except the ones the author thinks we're supposed to like, even though they're...
Again, please explain to me how these two are fucking awful. Why wouldn't we like Garp and Aokoji? We like Garp and Aokoji because, all right, run with me here now. Garp has always been the smiling guy, the smiling grandpa type. He's been kind of antagonistic, but he's always let his grandson go because he loves his family, regardless of them being pirates, even though he knows that he tries to fight them. But he can't really do it when it comes push to shove because he can't fight the ones he loves. And that was made blatantly obvious during the war, the Paramount War. And let me tell you, Garp is I like Garp. I think he's a great character. He's like he definitely is a D of the D clan because this man will laugh at anything. Even when things are going badly for him, he still laughs. I like Garp. And Aokoji is a mystery, and I like him because he doesn't follow the justice system to a T, because he was basically taught that the justice system is broken and has been trying to figure himself out and the justice system out for several years. And it wasn't until the Marine fight during the 2-year time skip that he decided to defect, because he couldn't take the role of fleet admiral and try to change things for the better. And in fact, the worst person got a hold of it, which was Aquino. And Aquino is a douche. He is the biggest piece of garbage this south of the Mississippi. One of the worst. But yeah, there's a reason why we kind of like him, because Aokoji could have killed Luffy back in the day. He could have killed Robin. He could have killed all of them. And he let him go just because he didn't see them as bad people. That's why he has lazy justice. Bro forgot that 99% of the pirates aren't like Luffy. The only reason why Eustace Captain Mid got a higher bounty than Luffy at the start is because he deliberately kills people left and right. That's what I heard. He deliberately murdered people. He deliberately hurt people. Hey, hugs.
Free the oppressed peoples of the world in a setting where all slaves will eventually become racist slavers themselves? Oh, that's not good. Listen. The author has great ideas, but...
That's a great idea, because it's understandable. Think of it that's an understandable idea. It's not good in a way that, it's a bad thing to do, but it's a great idea because that's exactly what people will do. Yeah, like imagine back in the day how the slaves felt in America. All the black people who were enslaved by white man. Imagine what they would have felt like back then, eventually getting freed. Would they not want to do the exact same thing that was done to them? Would they have not wanted to strike back against their oppressors and enslave the white people at that time? I guarantee yes. And if they had the chance, they would have. I guarantee it. Not every one of them, but a good chunk of them would exactly want to do that. It probably goes for almost any people that had been enslaved. Like the Jewish and stuff like that at the times that they were enslaved. So yeah, that is a good idea. Because people are hurt. When they hurt, they want to lash out. They want to give repercussions. They want to do unto others that was done to them. Never happened that free slaves... Yeah, exactly. Never happened that free slaves went and got slaves themselves. Never happened. Never happened, Jello.
He's not always so good at the execution. Just look how long it takes for him to execute this freckle guy.
He's not good at the execution of that idea. He's saying that the Fishman arc, the idea of Fishman arc was bad and that it was poorly executed. Albeit, sure, Fishman Island arc was a bit boring and slow because you didn't have the big bad, like, like a crocodile or something at the end of it. You had a really dumb fishman that was a racist, but that was the whole arc was not about freaking that one Hordy Jones. It wasn't about Hordy Jones. It wasn't even not at all about that. He was not the main antagonist in that arc. The main antagonist was racism, prejudice. That was the main antagonist through that entire series, that entire arc. That was the main draw. The idea that basically this fuel of hate, like the idea of hate breeding more hate and hate and hate and just continuing this circle with like freaking Arlong and Hordy Jones. Like that idea. Hordy Jones was just a straw man, basically, for racism and hate. and how much of a length he would go to fill out that hate because he was purely empty. That was it. That was the whole story and the idea. And sure, that doesn't excuse how slow Fishman Island was overall, but saying that it was poorly executed is a spit in the face of all those who tried to basically give this idea of hate, continuing hate through racism and prejudice and slavery, a pretty like middle finger. Yeah, he's full of hate, 100%. Also, him talking about how long it would take Ace for him to kill Ace. The thing is that there was so much going on in the Paramount War. There was so many sides of the story that were happening all at the same time that it took a long time for Ace to die because, I mean, when you have this many people all in one spot, this many characters all going at it, you're going to have to pull away from a lot of different events in order to show what's happening.
Hey, don't worry, Loopy.
Yeah, Fishman arc, it might be one of the worst in the series, but it doesn't make it bad. It doesn't make it bad. It just makes it one of the weaker links. Yeah, it was supposed to be a spectacle. It was supposed to be a trap. You're right. It was supposed to be a spectacle to show exactly how much power the world government had. This was a way to show the people, hey, we're better than Whitebeard. We're stronger than Whitebeard. You know, you fear and you respect Whitebeard. Well, Whitebeard doesn't mean nothing to us Marines. We're going to kill this guy, and we're going to do it at the time we said where we're going to do it. And that was what they were trying to do. Yeah, Ace was the image of the Pirate King. Yeah, he was the spawn of the Pirate King. And the Pirate King was basically demonized for years and years and years. So to a common person, the Pirate King was not supposed to be respected.
We got a better one in the back. And guess what, baby? He's from the jungle!
So fucking stupid. So stupid. I kind of get it. Sabo, it was kind of sudden. Like, it was supposed to be... some people, I can see why they would consider Sabo a replacement for Ace. But it was always planned to be three brothers. It was always planned to be kind of like a sudden pull from Oda. And it has been for a very long time. And you can even tell that from like way back in the Paramount War. I mean, Roger did also start the pirate age, and most pirates are Morganeers, so obviously most would hate Roger. Exactly. Not only that, yeah, that's why they hate Roger so much, because they made more work for the Marines.
That jungle lore was actually foreshadowed in exactly one panel 400 chapters ago. Don't you feel stupid for not noticing?
As you should. Now this Jello is now making fun of Oda and how Oda has been putting little breadcrumbs in his story from 20 fucking years ago. Years of breadcrumbs. He's now making fun of the breadcrumbs. That, like, I cannot, like, fathom this man's hate. This man is so fucking bitter that he can't just make something that's going to take 5 to 20 years in order to accumulate the same thing. Yeah, this man is full of shit. That was half the fun. Was like figuring out, oh my god, is this character related to this character, or is this incident related to this? Because Oda would always put little minor things that he had been planning for years ahead of time. What was it? Which one was it that really got me? I'm trying to remember which one that really, really got me. Like, I can't think of it right now. It was like one from like way early on where, I think it was the episode where, Shanks was with Whitebeard. And if I remember right, Shanks said something. If I just can't remember. I remember Shanks said something during that conversation that basically came back almost 15 years later. It came full circle. Bro out here spreading seedlings everywhere. I know, right? I'm telling you, he's just trying to spread hate for hate's sake because he's not a good person. He's nasty and egotistical and angry that he can't make something as amazing as One Piece.
One panel 400 chapters ago. Don't you feel stupid for not noticing? Oh, don't worry.
You shouldn't feel stupid. You should feel like, oh my God, like, that's how I felt. I'm like, oh, Oda planned this how many years ago? This man's been cooking on 2,000 chapters to reveal this. I know the first giants that we see back in 113, and then they come back in a big way. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy how much Oda's been cooking on these ideas. Like, he doesn't forget.
If you missed it, you can always catch up on
So,
the lore by skimming a.
what we have here is like some of the fucking stupidest nonsense. 1,000 chapters after. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's insane. The coops are a series of small bowl-like objects designed to hold liquid. Every single official translation in English for the last 20 years has used the term cups, including Viz, 4Kids, Funimation. Notice how he says all these ones, which I believe, if I remember rightly, most of these are the English dubs. And the Netflix live action series. Again, another one that's in English. However, one time in a single panel, the author, a man who does not speak English, spelled the word with 2 U's. Because he is an infallible god who can do no wrong, this wiki was elected to ignore common sense and 2 decades of professional translation and will spell the word with 2 U's until the end of the days. Now they're making fun. He's making fun of the wiki page of this series because he spelled it like, oh, that's not real. That's a person who did that and then translate. Like, here we go again with the translation bullshit. Here we go again with the idea that only follow the translations, only follow the translations, only follow the translations of English. Do not follow the English or the non-English speakers. Now remember, that's not you're taught. Listen, Jello, listen to me well. Most of the world has a lot of comprehension of English. As much as you think that just because Japan is just Japan and like far away from America, do not think that a good chunk and almost a majority of the people there don't know English. This goes for every country. Every country, they teach a lot of English. Look at Sweden, Finland, France. They teach English in these places because English is the dominating language other than Spanish. And the reason that is because, England basically took over most of the world. And then America didn't help with spreading their influence across the world with being the juggernaut that it is. So English is one of the major languages to speak, because if you go to a country that speaks another language, well, if a good chunk of them speak English, you have a high chance of being able to communicate with them instead of trying to learn another language and have a third language, Like, I'm going to Japan. I want to brush up on my Japanese, sure. But if I'm from France, knowing a bit of English is probably going to help me. If it yes, what is that word for toilet? What is that word in toilet in English? And then you go toilet, and I go, oh yeah, toilet. So it's like, yeah, and the good reason for that too is business. Business needs to run, and the language barrier makes it kind of hard. So a lot of businesses in like European countries and Japanese countries will force their workers to learn English so they can actually do business with English-based companies like England and America and Canada. So screw you, brother. Besides that fact, they're probably what I'm saying is basically there could have been a reason for the two U's if that was basically the thing. You're a silly nerd. I'm a very big nerd. I live in Oz, and essentially all the Southeast Asia speaks a ton of English. See what I mean, bro? See what I mean? I forgot, Australia. That's another country that speaks 95% English, basically. Besides, translators make some mistakes all the time. If you were to delve into the Dark Souls lore, bro, people discovered the English translations isn't completely correct, and they freaked out because now they had a whole treasure trove of content to make videos on because it was all new info, basically. Yes, yeah, I heard that there was more information. I heard about that. Oh, my throat is killing me. Or until the author spells it a different way, which it does sometimes. This behavior is not at all cultish. And yet, it turned out the reason why he misspelled it and why Oda sometimes misspells it is because of real reasons.
A fan wiki that insists
Cups were among the items that the Straw Hat Pirates and the Princess Nefertiti Vivi used in Alabaster Kingdom. What do you mean it's meant to be named after alabaster, the type of sculpting stone that was famously used in ancient desert kingdoms just like Vivi's homeland? I'm absolutely sure Alabasta is spelled with an R. Brother, did on purpose. And also, not to mention, L and R are very close in the Japanese language. Very close. So saying L or R is like basically is like C. It's kind of like C and K in the English tub or language. You know what I mean? Zoro, exactly. Some people prefer calling him Zoro. Some people call him Zoro. So, dumbass. Again, this is Jello being a dumbass.
Every proper noun wrong.
Cups were also used at Levely, which was it's reverie, but okay, shut up, don't. I see that look in your face. We're calling it Levely. Again, this is not how the wiki works. This is just taking a punch at the wiki. I know it sounds stupid, okay? But one time Oda Sensei spelled it Lively, and I want to suck his dick. What an idiot. Moron.
Because that's what some weebs called
Yosh, my Nakama and I finally made it to Alabasta.
them back in 2001.
Here, my man, let me pay you in bellies.
What's that?
It's berries, but he's trying to make a joke with the R's and the L's. Again, here's Jello once again showing his idea of hating translations. This is him hating on the sub, him hating translators, his localization bullcrap. Once again, peeking from his divine fucking saturated armpit. Kind of actually racist too. Yeah, I also noted that too.
You think these bellies and the story are both overstuffed?
Pish and Shaw. Oda doesn't need editors.
Old Peas has 1,100 chapters and twice as many named characters. I'm sure all of.
Can I go back to that really quick, just that concept? You do realize I've watched videos on this exact topic. I believe, if I remember rightly, Oda has had 11 editors. a lot of editors. And a lot of editors that have actually brought a lot of characters and ideas and concepts to One Piece that we would have never had. If I were to go into that iceberg, we'd be here all night. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to cover that because I'd have to pull up the information. But trust me on this fact, you can find it online. If it wasn't for that idea and concept, we would not have a lot of what One Piece is nowadays. Like, a lot of the editors saved One Piece. Oh, you leaving, Crow? I understand. I'm kind of pushing it a little.
Of these guys are absolutely essential. How many of them could you possibly cut while telling the same story?
So this part is very important. Everybody pay attention. This is the part we're going to be talking about. This is the real meat and potatoes right here.
Twice as many named characters. I'm sure all of these guys are absolutely essential. How many of them could you possibly cut while telling the same story?
Gaimon, I get Gaimon, I get Pearl. He wants to remove fucking Tashigi. Like, he thinks that we should remove Tashigi. The woman that basically keeps Zoro, like, constantly going in that concept. Like, you know, he like, the idea of running into Tashigi again and again and again. Like, there's probably something about Tashigi we don't even know about. Way too many of these characters resurface constantly. I get that. I do. I get that. The idea is they do kind of suck, some of them. But listen, a lot of them don't come back. Genzo doesn't come back. Mumu doesn't come back. Karibi doesn't come back. Chu doesn't come back. A lot of these characters do not come back. Only a handful do. Very rarely. It's like 1 out of 10 characters actually come back. Chess was semi-important because without Chess, basically Chopper wouldn't have had somebody to fight. But you get rid of Chess, but you have Kuromarimo. You know, you want to get rid of one of the characters. Did you okay? Hasami was just basically a transport character, so I can get behind that. Chaka was kind of important because they were the right-hand man of King Cobra and was essential in a lot of the decisions that King Cobra made. Oh, yeah, you're right. Never mind, Jack Hearts. You're right. Mumu did come back and carry wet-haired Karibo to safety. And if it wasn't for Mumu, Karibo would not be now talking to Blackbeard. Okay, so you want to... Torakata wasn't absolutely needed, but they were just a minor bit. The guards were not really needed. Well, the guards were kind of needed, only because that showed everybody just how strong Crocodile was with his fruit, right? That showed exactly how powerful he was. All right. They didn't last long because they literally died after their introduction. Yeah, this selection is really pointless. This is just nitpicking. Mind you, he wants to get rid of Ohm, one of the knights, one of the Night Sky Knights. He wants to get rid of Ohm, and one of the characters that was crucial in, like, making Zoro stronger. Like, he helped make Zoro a stronger fighter. Gendatsu was also very important because if it wasn't for him, Chopper wouldn't be where he was. All right? Like, Chopper wouldn't have been able to leave where he didn't go where he needed to go. Rocky and Aiza, I don't really remember these two characters all that well. Where they from? They were from the Skypiea arc, if I remember rightly, judging from where they were. They were probably two of the members there. Yeah, Gedatsu made a hot spring, and that was very cute. I actually like that. Get rid of Graham and Genbo, which were also members of the thing that helped. This one, Rahams, helped Zoro get stronger. Gombi and Tyrannosaurus Rex. It's okay. Now, look, everybody. I want you to look really, really hard at one of these characters that just got crossed out. You see that new X that I am one frame away from getting rid of? I want you to look at that frame for a hot second. Can you guess who that is? It's fucking Frankie. He doesn't want Frankie. He thinks Frankie could be cut. Yeah. He wants to cut Frankie, but he wants to keep Zombai, Kiwi, Hazo, the freaking Sodom and Gomorrah. He wants to keep them in there, but he wants to get rid of Frankie. Notice, by the way, Frankie is wearing his mask, where the first mask he was ever introduced to, and he even blurred out his name, knowing full well that if any real, true One Piece character or One Piece fan saw that, clearly they would absolutely tear him apart. Clearly, he just doesn't know that's Frankie. Clearly, you can't read the blurred text or anything that says Bronker. You would rather keep Shelly and Tonjit from Long Island, Long Ring Longland, and Foxy and all his crew members, all of them, but get rid of Frankie. Okay, we're watching the bombshell that JelloApocalypse dropped on One Piece. This is all that this entire thing is a basically him trying to bomb One Piece. This is him trying to like basically say One Piece sucks and trying to hurt the One Piece fans because he's a bitter man who thinks he's better than everybody else and clearly frustrated that nobody will take him seriously. So we're going over this as a One Piece fan and how much I absolutely hate this video. The idea that he would get rid of all these characters, including Frankie, the shipwright, the one character that has actually saved the bacon of the entire crew multiple times. Uno piece. But I just like, this is what I was talking about when I said, oh yeah, we'll talk about Frankie later. We'll point that out later. He does not like Frankie. He hates Frankie. I don't know why he hates Frankie. If I had to take a wild guess, I would say that because Frankie represents America, he takes some offense to Frankie. He wants to get rid of Jambra, who was an important character to the series. He also wants to get rid of Komodori Fukuro and who were two very important pieces of the CP9. He wants to get rid of some of the side characters, but Nero and Jerry were important in some ways to show exactly how, not how strong, but like the kind of like as a basis for the CP9 to make it show how strong they really were. So he wants to get rid of Suru, which again, that's a strong woman character right there. Suru is one of the strongest Marines in the Marines, basically. Absalom is an important character because he was one of the reasons why the freaking, the One Piece character, they stuck around. My throat hurts. I'm sorry. They're having a really hard time talking. He also wants to get rid of Eustace Kid, Scratchman Apu, Basil Hawkins, Killer, and Rouge. We don't even know what Rouge's backstory is. Arouge might be an important piece of information, an important character later on, and you have no idea if how important he really is, because Arouge is still out there. He defeated one of the Sweet Commanders. He defeated one of the strongest members of the Whole Cake Pirates and got away. He ran away. He was able to flee. He's still out there. And some theorize that he's a Skypean of some sort because he's got the wings of a Skypean. He might be from a cloud island. And that might be really important for later. Oda's been cooking on Arouge for a long time. He also wants to get rid of Olarasa here, which was the former leader of Water Lily, which she shows that she is very smart and very wise and tries to keep Boa Hancock on the straight and narrow. He wants to get rid of basically all of the freaking guards of Impel Down. He wants to get rid of Jozu, which was one of the commanders of the White-Beard Pirates. He wants to get rid of most of the commanders of the White-Beard Pirates. You know why there was so many White-Beard commander pirates? It was to show exactly just how strong the White-Beard Pirates were, how close-knit of a family, and how needed they were as a family. It's really fucking stupid. We'll get rid of more of the members. Whitebeard doesn't need a fucking family. What about that? No, Whitebeard doesn't need any family. Look at that. He only needs Marco and Thatch. That's it. No more Whitebeards. Just those. You kidding me? Are you just that stupid? Are you that dense? Yeah, one of the greatest pirates doesn't need a pirate crew. Nah, no, definitely not. Prison doesn't need guards. No, fuck no. Let the prisoners wander around. It's fine. Wow. Yep, and got rid of Whitey Bay, another one of the commanders. He wants to get rid of half the vice admirals. And Sengoku, by the way. Sengoku, the former fleet admiral that was crucial during the Marineford arc, as well as information during the what was his name? Doflamingo arc. He wants to get rid of that Sengoku. Sure, but we'll keep MalO black because he's funny. He wants to get rid of Karibo, another very fucking important character that's about to play a very important role in the story. Hey, Angie. Karibo, was a joke character, but he's now turned into basically a real character. He's a legit character, and he's about to basically bring a bombshell on the entire story. And it pisses me off that he thinks that we need to get rid of him. Hello, I am dying. My throat is shot. He wants to get rid of one of the sons of Neptune, two of the sons of Neptune. He wants to get rid of the Minister of the Right, Shiarly, who predicted the idea that the entirety of Fishman Island was going to be completely destroyed by Luffy. But we don't need that. Also, he wouldn't get rid of Horty Jones, but he would get rid of basically the rest of his crew, except for Zio, the guy who can turn invisible. No, he doesn't need again, let's go down that route. He doesn't need a crew. He doesn't even need his Iron Shell squad. Doesn't need that. He doesn't need the crew to show off that, oh yeah, these guys are building an army. Nah, don't need it. Don't need it. Don't need an army. Not the guy who's trying to start a revolution and basically go against humanity doesn't need an army. Sure. Yes, I've constantly heard about the Honey extension scam. Yeah, I uninstalled Honey too. Yeah, it only gave me some good deals back in when I first got it, but not anymore. So what else? We got rid of Vanderdecken, Smooge. That's just a side character. Vanderdecken was an important character though, because he kept. If it wasn't for him, Shirahoshi would have never needed to worry about leaving her tower. And then, you know, Luffy probably would have never met her. Buffalo, Baby 5, Treble. You want to get rid of Treble. Treble and Diamante and Pika. You want to get rid of Treble. Treble, the man that literally shaped Doflamingo into who he was. The man who basically gave Doflamingo the power to become what he a genocidal maniac, and the character that he is. Sure, okay, asshole, sure. But we'll keep Corazon and Vertigo and Sugar and Goella and Violet because they're, I guess, important. You want to get rid of Senior Pink. You want to get rid of Senior Pink. The manliest man to ever man. One of my favorite members of the Doflamingo Pirates. Hard-boiled door. Yeah, fuck off. Senior Pink was one of the... I love Senior Pink. I love his character. I love his story. He is amazing. I love Senior Pink. Screw you for even suggesting that he should be removed. Also, Pickums, it was important because without Pickums, the crew wouldn't have been able to get into Whole Cake Island. Also, we don't know if Cavendish or Lumbus or Solomon are going to be very important characters in the future. I'm pretty sure they will be. You know, Rebecca was important because the whole Rose story, the whole Doflamingo story. Sai is also a part of the thing. Everybody's like the members. He's all right. He's a part of the crew, the Luffy crew, the Alliance. So it's important that he's in it because he has an entire island. He's got all his ships. He's got an entire armada under his control. So he's probably going to be important. We want to get rid of the Bull, Bobby Funk, Kelly Funk, Jeet, Blue Gilly. Again, all these people are part of the Luffy gang, basically. Elizabello II is probably going to be very important later on. He wants to get rid of King Riku Doldo. Again, one of the most important characters during that arc because it was him that basically told the entire backstory of what was going on in that country. Eliminate half the Totantas, or over half actually. Get rid of Penguin and Sachi, which were important to Law because without Penguin and Sachi, they wouldn't have all gotten together to be the crew. Get rid of Carrot. Apparently, get rid of Jack. You know, get rid of Jack. Jack, the guy who set up the entire Wano arc. The guy who basically put into pen to paper that the fucking Beast Pirates were a force to contend with. He was built up to be basically this monster of a man who was basically putting up, hey, this guy's just the third in command. He's not queen. He's not king. He's not even, the main dog. This is the fourth strongest guy in this crew. And he fucked up the entirety of, Zoa. There was a reason for that. It was a setup. But again, Jello, you wouldn't understand that. Yeah, he's just getting rid of characters for no reason. Getting rid of, Carrot, who was a very important character during the whole Cake Island. Let's see. He wants to get what else? Who else do you want to get rid of? Oh, I thought I said Blackbeard. I was gonna like flip my shit. I would have flipped. Who else are you gonna get rid of? You want you want to get rid of Raizo and Conjuro. Raizo and Conjuro. Raizo, the man that caused the entirety of Zoa to be destroyed. He wasn't the one that destroyed it. They were looking for Raizo on Zoa. And he was hidden away in the village, and he was the reason why it got completely annihilated. You want to get rid of him, and you want to get rid of Conjuro, the man that literally betrayed everyone, the man who basically almost completely ruined the plans of the Red Sheaths and the Pirate Alliance. Half the characters, exactly. He doesn't even know. You're making the original video watchable, listening more to the reactions. Thank you. I appreciate it. But I just I can't let this slide. Being the fan that I am of this series, I can't let this slide. I have One Piece not only is one of my favorite series for a reason, like I love the series, and it holds not only a special place in my heart from how long I've been watching it. I got my my former boyfriend, my ex-boyfriend, into this series, and we used to watch it together for like 4 or 5 years. I made him fall in love with One Piece, and we both loved reading every new manga chapter that came out. And when he passed away, it was heartbreaking because now I had to read these mangas on my own again, and it felt like I had lost a piece of me and a piece of what made this manga special after that. So you attacking this manga so blatantly full of hate and bitterness, you need to be taken down a few pegs, my friend. And let me just like basically rip you apart with my analytic mind. You lost the One Piece? Yeah, I used to have it. Lost it the other day. I'm no longer the Pirate King. It's such a good series. I know why you wouldn't want to get into it because it's really, really long. If I were to suggest anything, I would say start with reading the manga. The mangas go a lot faster. You can read the mangas faster than watching the anime. You can read like 3 or 4 manga before in a half an hour's time, so you can cut a lot of time out. It's okay, Angie. I've had a lot of time to, come to terms with that. It's been now almost 5 years. It's getting close to 5 years now. Yeah, exactly. My boyfriend had read the series. He went and watched the series with me. We rewatched the entire anime together. I rewatched it. I think where were we? It was just after the Paramount War. I think it was just near the time skip I think it was near the time skip. I think because that was about 9 years ago. Yeah, to grieve. Yeah. But it was like, I want to say it was like 9 years ago now because it's been 4 years since their passing. So I think it was right about around the time skip that I got him into this. And I rewatched the entire first half of the series with him. I rewatched all the episodes, and it was so much fun rewatching old episodes, knowing what I had learned. And then after doing that, he went and he read the manga after that. And he was a fast reader. He read that within like less than a month. I think he did it in like a week or 2. He finished it. He was an insane reader. No, it's okay. Yeah, he was a very sweet person, and I constantly miss him. Okay, all right. Back to this before I lose my my voice more. Charlotte Cracker was kind of needed. Oven was needed because they both like led individual situations that were very important to the story. The other Charlotte family. The reason why there were so many Charlottes in the family was to show exactly how big Big Mom's family really was. It was to show exactly just how strong her armada was and why she was one of the top dogs. Because without her family, she would have not had as much territory as she did. Her family was insanely important. Like, again, it's like saying, oh yeah, don't have guards for the prison. Don't have the Whitebeard Pirates commanders. It's a same instance. Same instance. And like, mind you, most of these characters didn't even get like a line of dialogue. They were just in the background. King Bon, Nitro, Rubian, Rudolph. Wouldn't get rid of Hira, Napoleon, Misery, Jesus. You would get rid of Reiju, an important character to Sanji's backstory. Insane. He's willing to get rid of Orochi. Orochi. He wants to get rid of Orochi. He wants, again, there's Kanjuro again, but he wants to get rid of Orochi. 50% of the reason why Wano was in the you know, where it was as it was. Because if it wasn't for Orochi, fucking, what's his name? That one pirate dude. I can't remember his name because my head's all screwed up. But he wouldn't have been able to take over Wano. Not even a little bit. Like, he would have had to struggle to take over Wano instead of like slipping in and slowly converting everything. He did it with less work. So you getting rid of him is kind of stupid. Oh yeah, you wouldn't get rid of Kaido though, right? Yeah, Kaido's the one I was talking about. Kaido, you wouldn't get rid of Kaido. You wouldn't want to get rid of Kaido for sure. Definitely not. Oh, but you would get rid of Yamato, his son, one of the more important characters in the series that basically told exactly where Luffy to go and what to do. No. Definitely get rid of him. But I see what you did there. I would not believe it if he did a video similar to the involving Naruto. I think he did Naruto, but it wasn't quite as bad as this. Let's see. He would get rid of who else? He would keep Shanks and all his pirates. Get rid of Gizmonda. All right, get rid of Gurnika. Yeah, sure, okay. The guy that basically started Luffy's transformation into Gear 5. Okay, let's get rid of him. One of the most important members of CP0. Yeah, get rid of him. Also good. Well, let's get rid of the Vegapunks too. Sure. Yeah. What? What's wrong? Why not get rid of more of the Vegapunks, asshole?
Oh, that's at least 5 of them. I'm glad we wasted pages on these dudes instead of seeing the Straw Hats actually have any kind of dynamic with each other.
Jack, help me out here on this one. Jack. You know that's a bold-faced lie. I am out, bro. No, help me. Help me. This man is... No, he's not trolling. He's trying to be serious. He's not... Jello is not somebody who does trolling. Like, yeah, I'm mustache twirling, like, yeah, and trolling you. Ha. No, he's dead serious. This guy is dead serious about this whole thing. He doesn't know. Like, the characters constantly back and forth. whether it's in calm waters or when they're fighting. The characters are always bouncing off each other. Always. It's like constant. And that's part of the fucking comedy. That's one of the most important things of the show, is the comedy, is that these characters keep moving, like, you know, gelling with each other and like rubbing against each other in like, oh yeah, you spilled my drink, stupid moss head. Oh, well, if you weren't such an idiot, you wouldn't have spilled your drink, and then they would start fighting. So, stuff like that. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. No way in hell this man says this genuinely. I really do believe it. I do believe it.
Who cares about that?
We literally have not had a single meaningful interaction in 600 chapters. Are you serious? What? Literally at the beginning of Wano, Luffy jumps onto Zoro, like full bear hugs him, like, and Zoro has to like brace himself because Luffy like full leg and arm hugs him because he missed him so much.
Have to know the name of the weapon that fuck-ass Joe uses. Let's check out the Q&A corner, where the author answers only the most enlightened of questions from the 12est of year-old readers.
Again, there's that 12-year-old bullcrap.
Who's fuck-ass Joe?
Say, Odachi, look over there, quick, while he's distracted. The SBS corner has begun. Hochiel's bro. Oh, darn. The joke's too funny. Well, nothing for it. We'll have to use a fifth of a page on this for 25 years. That's not how that works.
The 12est of year-old readers.
Who's fuck-ass Joe?
I'm so glad
By the way, this is idiotic.
you asked. Fuck-ass Joe has a really interesting backstory. My editor said I couldn't include it, so I murdered him, because nobody tells me what to do.
Like I said, again, the editors do tell him not to put in characters at certain points in time because he like they have helped him cut some characters that really weren't needed.
Anyway, he drifted through the Calm Belt, which has no currents and you shouldn't be able to drift through it, but I forgot. Then he met another character and became...
Like, again, makes no sense. There's not a single time that the Calm Belt has ever, you know, let somebody go through. Not a single time. He's pulling that shit out of his ass.
became a pirate. Thanks so much for your question.
I lick the syrup off of Nami's body.
This is actually a real question. This is a genuine question that the one of the members of the people asked him, and basically Oda said something along the lines of, Ochira, is that you? If that's you, Ochira, we talked about this. You can't be asking disgusting questions like that. Wait, are you really Ochira? Are you sure? I'm not 100% certain. Are you basically posing as Ochira? If you are, don't ever send messages to me again. Basically, he answered the question in a tongue-in-cheek sort of way, saying, stop asking stupid questions about Nami's body, you assholes. But he did it in a tongue-in-cheek way. But again, I would not believe that JelloApocalypse would understand that. But yes, there's a real question from, I think he actually, no, he doesn't read it. This is a real question from Volume 85. That's incredible, isn't it? Someone wrote this and nailed it, and then actually staff members at Shonen Jump selected it from all of the thousands of options they had. The author responded to it, editors and typesetters. Again, not Jello nitpicking and strawmanning this conversation to basically fit his narrative, not telling anybody again to saying that basically Oda said, stop asking these questions. We're not, and you know, like I don't think he got a question like that for a long time. Like he didn't answer anything like that for I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure he doesn't answer questions like that anymore. This was the first and last time. So it's kind of really just, again, Jello just skewing the narrative in his favor. Wonder if encouraging terrible questions like this has been printing them has had some sort of long-term negative impact on the quality of the manga volumes. Basically saying that, oh yeah, because you put this question in this thing, that must have made the show One Piece garbage.
Negative space grows rarer and the art gets sketchier and sketchier because the artist would literally rather kill himself than accept help from or credit any of his assistants. Don't worry, Oda is actually just being nice and making his art worse on purpose so that the anime doesn't look as bad by comparison.
Jack, you know a bit more about this than I do. Because I know that Oda's had some health problems and he's been taking more and more frequent breaks. What about the assistance thing? He says he doesn't get assistance
Or credit any
it doesn't credit any of his assistants.
his assistants. Don't worry.
And that the art's been
Oda is
getting crappier and crappier.
Actually just being nice and making his art worse on purpose so that the anime doesn't look as bad by comparison.
I don't think the art's been looking that bad, in all honesty. To me, the newer ones don't look terrible. I think that Oda's trying to get this done. Oda's been struggling to get the One Piece done before something happens to him, and his health has been kind of declining as he gets older, if I remember rightly. And because of it, he has been pushing himself harder to get this done. Because he doesn't want to pass away before this all gets finished. I sincerely doubt he doesn't credit people. Me neither. Oda's not that type. But when it comes to the art looking bad, the only part I can think of is Kuma's backstory, and that's because he was uncomfortable. It was uncomfortable writing it. Yeah, I could understand that 100%. Yeah, that was a harsh backstory.
Is reading too quick and easy? Switch to the anime and watch as time slowdown turns this angry broccoli man's one-panel Wii into a 10-minute long piss venture. Hey, mister.
You know, I understand that. I'm not a big fan of how long Funimation keeps drawing things out, because instead of waiting for Oda to actually finish like a couple chapters, Funimation and Toei, I think Toei, right? Toei keep trying to like keep up with it by doing one chapter per episode, which is not normal. What you normally do is 2 chapters for an episode, so things are paced more evenly. Because they're doing one episode for one chapter, they have to do things like do more longer shots, longer establishing shots and stuff like that, which I do not agree with. I don't like it. But I heard that the series has been getting better. Anyways, 1 second. I'm going to go get a drink really quick. I am thirsty. I am seriously going to be absolutely destroyed tomorrow. That's for sure. Ugh. But we're almost done.
This is old peas, not you peas. This is simply not up to Toei's standard of quality. I know what'll fix this. That's better.
I don't get the joke. Is it because Oda draws big butted and big titted women sometimes? Is it because Toei draws like, you know, female characters with lots of assets? I don't quite get it myself.
Better. Listen, this is a very serious emotional story, but we don't want you to be sad when you read it. Remember, at the end of the day, there are no
Hang him, kill him. Yeah, I know, right?
consequences to anything. Hit this bird with a nuke, he'll be fine. Put a bandage on him, he'll be fine.
Listen, I do understand. you know, it does take away the stakes when a lot of characters come back randomly, like Pito, I think this character's name was, randomly when they should have died because they got hit by a nuclear goddamn bomb. But at the same time, I do understand Oda doesn't like killing his characters because he feels like he's losing a part of himself when he does that. And yeah, it does suck because the stakes feel less, but I do appreciate seeing characters do come back.
Abandon your children for inexcusably selfish reasons? Don't worry. They'll always love you no matter what. And that's why you should take care of yourself. And not work yourself so hard that your coworkers have to force you to get surgery. And
I don't know if that's actually true. Is that true, Jack? Did his coworkers actually force him to get surgery? That much I'm not 100% certain of. However, I do know that there is something up ahead of the end of this video that is going to absolutely make you want to spit roast this guy. Me neither. I have not heard that. I hadn't heard the news of him getting surgery. I knew that he was, you know, unwell, but I hadn't heard that he needed surgery.
And to sleep. They all care about you. Your daughters care about you, Oda. You know what you can do to show them that you care about them?
Oh. Sexualize another child their age?
No, Oda. That's wrong.
Oh.
Calling into question Oda's mental health and sexualizing his daughters, basically, girls of their age. Oh, it gets worse though.
Younger?
No.
Mm-hmm. Words cannot even justify him basically sexualizing teenagers and basically saying, oh yeah, your daughters. Oh, you're sexualizing basically girls of your daughter's age. Ha 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 ha. Oh, are you mentally well, Oda? Ha ha ha. Ha ha, Oda. You can't be sexualizing 15-year-old, 16-year-old girls. Ha ha ha. So it's just absolutely slap to the face of the man that is Oda. Like you said, Jack, if you had a 16-year-old, I've seen 16-year-olds. I've seen them. I've seen 16-year-old girls wearing clothing that is very revealing or sexualized. And like, in a world like this, of course, some of the girls are going to be like that, but they're not like what should Carrot be drawn as? Flat chested. She's 15. When you're 15, breasts don't exist. You know, body shape doesn't exist at that age. Definitely not. You know, I know a 16-year-old girl who has that body shape. You know, she's turned into a woman. She has a woman shape. You know, she has the hourglass bit shape. So are you telling me that that's not realistic? Yeah. Yeah. It's very, very, very terrible to even try to put those two together, especially when you have real artists out there, like the Don artist who is literally over sexualizing a 16-year-old to the point that it's a little scary. 2 16-year-olds, mind you. And then you got other ones who are being way over sexualized, like with My Hero Academia, where they're like 14, 15, and stuff like that, where that feels way more sexualized than anything really Oda has done with these four characters. Mind you, I don't like what Rebecca wears and stuff like that, but these 3 characters have never been sexualized in a way like guys are hitting on them or anything like that. In fact, Rebecca, who has the most like revealing costume in the damn series, not once in the series do any of the men ever treat her like a woman or an object. They treat her like a warrior. So, I don't know, man. I think you're full of fucking shit. I think you're completely and utterly full of it.
Thanks for watching.
You're not welcome. I hope that you find your center, Jello. I really do. I hope you find peace because you really need it. You need to take a step back and like center yourself. What you've done here is just a massive middle finger to people that you just are jealous of. I don't even think you realize how jealous you are of the people that you are making fun of. And I really think you need to go home and really think about your life choices. Really. I really do. Stop like looking at other artists and saying, I could do better. I could take this series and make it better. I'm so smart. I'm the smartest guy in the room. You need to take a step back and really, really take a hard look at yourself. You really do. You need to like understand yourself before you can start talking about other people's stuff. Because you're just coming from a place of anger and hatred and bitterness and jealousy, and you don't probably even understand where that emotion is coming from. You really need to self-reflect. Because, man, I used to respect you. I used to have a lot of respect for you. I thought you had a lot of funny lines and a lot of funny videos and a lot of funny content. But I see now that you really actually need help. You really do need to see somebody like a therapist, or at least just get off the internet, man. You're letting other people drive your content. I used to be that way. I used to let people make me feel jealous too. I used to get angry and jealous at other people's success. And and I still feel that to this day. And I still have to fight that down because it's bad. It's a bad emotion to have. You need to do the same thing. Because that jealousy is one of the most... There's a reason why jealousy is one of the 7 sins, my bro. And it really is now destroying your career, your content, and yourself. So please, get some help. Whether for yourself and the people around you. Yeah, this video pretty much ruined a lot of his comedy for me, because it just really did show exactly how bitter this man was. Now that I'm gonna go back through his other stuff and then realize just where this tongue-in-cheek comedy is gonna be coming from now, because it looks like he was truly bitter from the very beginning. So it kind of puts a bad taste in my mouth for the rest of his content. Because it's not something that he's doing just to make fun with the people that like that sort of thing, like JoJo or Adventure Time. He's doing it because he doesn't like himself. And he's taking this rage and frustration out on others. And that kind of opened my eyes to what Jello's doing. And that hurts, man. I really loved Epithet Erased. I really liked his So This Is Basically series. I liked a lot of his images and the drawings he used to make. Now I'm just going to have to be constantly thinking, was this made out of jealousy? Was he angry about this? Was he mad about this? Was he really, how much information really does he have? Did he do his research? I'm going to be questioning that all the time now. Questioning it. All right.